members regarding any city business item and for council members to hear and understand multiple perspectives.
First note I got after my grandmother died was from a handwritten 3 pages from Bill Clinton. Because, I mean, he was so kind, so down there, he definitely Bill. Now, Hillary and I kind of got into it several years ago. They took Confederate Boulevard and she voted to have it changed to some black man's name, and I flew all over. I said, let me tell you, you're a brilliant woman, but you're going to go down a hill getting involved in this black situation. And I said, you can just mark me off your little list of friends if you start licking up the blacks. That's exactly what she did. And whatever. And Bill told me later, he said, you could tell her that and get away with it. Well, it's the truth. And so she ruined herself. That's why she didn't get elected. It was 2 minutes. If there's another monument built in Natchez, if I have to pay for it, it'll be to the white people. There's still white people left in this world. Who died and made all the black people queen for a day? I don't know. But I mean, it's just disgusting. There's been people that have been persecuted much more than the blacks have. And whatever, if they'd pile them all on a ship and send them back to Africa, they'd have another thought coming. They got over there and climb a coconut tree and make a living. So whatever. So I think it's just absolutely pitiful. Equality, which bringing them everything on a silver tray. I mean, our taxpayers' money. I mean, I'm tired of taking care of somebody that won't take care of themselves. And I'm not saying there's not some good ones. There are, but boy, they're outnumbered by the bad ones. It's disgusting. It's just black, black, black. I love to wear black. Men look so good with gray hair and black tie.
Village resident. I want to speak tonight about a broader governance pattern that is becoming increasingly visible across city operations and policy decisions. The issue is not any single ordinance standing alone. The issue is the cumulative direction of governance. Tonight, the council is considering a major expansion of administrative enforcement authority through ordinance 2026-01.
Hello. So I don't want to necessarily bore you folks with what I was talking about. If you're interested, I am more than happy to link the particular, like the entire video recording of the meeting last night to the bio, and you can go there if you want. I'm not sure if YouTube allows that, but we shall see. All right. Enjoy.
Hearing fees and discretionary timelines controlled internally by city administration. And importantly, these systems are being built at the same time that public participation opportunities are narrowing. Public comment time was reduced from 5 minutes to 2 minutes. That changed passed quietly, but process design matters. Because when enforcement authority expands while resident participation contracts, the balance between government power and public accountability shifts. And what concerns me most is not simply the existence of rules. Rules are necessary. What concerns me is the degree to which practical outcome now appear increasingly dependent upon discretion. For example, timelines are based upon what the city determines is reasonable. Hearing officers are selected from city-approved lists. Hearing fees must be paid to challenge citations. Penalties can double repeatedly, and enforcement extends across broad categories of conduct and property regulation. The ordinance repeatedly references neutrality and fairness, but structurally the city still remains the central operator of the process. That matters because systems should not rely upon trust alone. They should be designed so that fairness is visible. Residents should not have to wonder whether relationships matter, whether familiarities matter, whether social standing matters, whether race matters, or whether certain residents are perceived differently once complaints, conflicts, or neighborhood tensions arise. And unfortunately, in small communities like ours, those concerns are not theoretical. They are real governance concerns because reputation travels faster than process. Another issue that stood out tonight involves the residential waste reduction and recycling agreement with Hennepin County. Again, the resolution itself sounds simple and administrative, but the underlying agreement is heavily performance-driven. It includes participation targets, compliance expectations, education mandates, audit authority, reporting obligations, and the withholding of funding if standards are not met. What I found striking is how much of the framework is centered around modifying resident behavior, while comparatively little discussion exists regarding waste generated internally by municipal operations themselves. If accountability is going to expand outward toward residents, then residents should also see transparent benchmarking inward toward government operations. And finally, I want to briefly address the proposed delegation trip to Salo, Finland. I'm not opposed to culture exchange or sister city relationships, but the public packet provided almost no substantive information regarding total project costs, funding sources, who is traveling, selection criteria, anticipated deliverables, or measurable public benefit. And I think residents deserve more explanation before government travel is normalized through motion approvals with minimal contextual discussion. At this point, Carl Human has yielded his time to me, so I'll finish off the remainder of my time. What I'm describing tonight is not opposition for the sake of opposition. It is concern about institutional discretion, because government's legitimacy is not measured solely by whether procedures technically exist. It is measured by whether ordinary residents can realistically understand how power functions, how enforcement works, how decisions are made, and how fairness is protected when discretion enters the process. Transparency is not simply publishing documents online. Transparency means residents can follow the logic of government without needing insider familiarity, administrative fluency, or repeated involvement with city systems in order to understand what is happening around them and to them. And as these systems become more administratively complex, more enforcement-oriented, and more internally discretionary, the burden on government to demonstrate consistency, neutrality, and accessibility becomes even higher. I would encourage the City Council to think carefully, not only about efficiency and enforcement capacity, but about public confidence, procedural legitimacy, and long-term institutional trust. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are home after the public testimony. Oh, thank you. Well, my husband carrying my... Ooh, I got some flowers coming out on this retaining wall, which has been killed dead, so... Some stuff. There's some stuff coming. Some babies whisper. Some babies whisper. My mom wanted pictures of me, I forgot. So I have to have you take a picture of me so she sees what I look like. I did not have my glasses on. I was fighting for my life because I couldn't see what I was reading.
You did it. We did it, Joe.
I thank God I wrote it. So let's take a picture. Yeah, we need to do something about that it flag, but... So Nana requested pictures. These are our house projects. We're forever doing home projects and people stay mad. Well, it is a village. Look at this man. All pictures, knowing it's going to my mom. I'm so attracted to him. God bless y'all. See you next time.